But I'm going to
Okay.
move on to the Undisputed WWE Championship match. Cody Rhodes defeats Kevin Owens. So let me pull up some uh, slides for us to put on the TV while I describe what happened, and then I'll get some reviews from my esteemed panel of Vlad, the wrestling expert, and Robert, the frozen Asian. For anyone just joining us on this clip, thank you very much for subscribing. We have reached the mythical 500 subscriber mark. We're now a legit podcast, and we can
Yes.
legitimately say that we are the best wrestling podcast, right, Vlad? Just like Max Caster is the best wrestler.
That's right.
We are the best wrestling podcast.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. You nailed it. That's a great analogy.
But okay, so we had a criticism of this. I remember talking about this with you guys, that they had this whole big deal where they signed a contract where they would take their titles from them so they could hang them up, and then they just took them back. So they came in with those titles anyways. That whole storyline of them relinquishing the titles so that they would be held up, it didn't really matter. I think that was a waste of time.
It was Kevin Owens taking back his title during SmackDown, I believe. Cody's was still hanging there in SmackDown, and so it was weird that at the beginning that they both showed up with their titles.
With their titles, yeah. Yeah.
There's Cody with his title.
Yeah.
But okay, so the both of these belts are going to get held up for a ladder match if anyone has been living under a rock and don't know about this. But okay, let's go through some of the spots. I'm not going to go through this as in detail as I did the Royal Rumble, but this was just highlighted by really dangerous, horrible, violent-looking spots, right? But here they are fighting in the audience, and I think Kevin Owens rammed Cody into the camera, which I thought was a cool spot. I like that. And here's some more violence. Here's Cody taking the first bad bump onto a ladder. So I'm worried for these guys. I think I was talking to you guys about it. I'm like, man, these guys are going to have weird back problems and stuff when they're older. For my entertainment, I'm not so entertained by seeing guys get gored and destroyed like this. You know what I mean? But okay, if they want to do it, I'll judge it. I'll be the judge. But okay, moving along. I think here's another spot Cody took onto a ladder. So there's another dangerous looking spot. These guys went balls to the walls today, man. Especially Kevin Owens in defeat.
Yeah.
If he was gonna take the defeat, he was gonna look good doing it. But okay, here's Sami Zayn coming in. So this is the first spot where we thought he might interfere or do something, but he really didn't. He just was there to kind of watch his friends, make sure they don't kill each other, I guess. But okay, here's the ending. I think we're getting close to the end. Here's a crossroads from Kevin Owens, or onto Kevin Owens from Cody. And I think this is going to lead to Cody going for the belts, but Kevin Owens is using his last bit of energy to hold his leg back. So they're going to go outside and fight by the announce table, and Cody is just going crazy. He's going to that dark place, you know what I mean? And really getting violent, smashing Kevin Owens. So Kevin Owens got color. I guess he did the blade job. He's bleeding. Here's Cody with all the hate in the world. He hates Kevin Owens, so he's beating his ass over there. And I think this was Kevin Owens' last bit of desperation, was a low blow to Cody. So this is going to lead to Kevin Owens trying to get Cody into the package pile driver, but Cody's going to reverse it, pick him up, and in one of the greatest looking spots I've ever seen, slam him onto the ladder that was set up there, and Kevin Owens' neck goes through one of the ladders, like one of the rings of the ladder, and he just gets stuck there like that.
Oh my god.
It's fucking amazing, dude.
You're right, that was a great looking spot.
Great looking spot. And then he just stays stuck there like that for like minutes as Nick Aldis and everyone. Well, first of all, I will mention that Cody had to go into the ring and get the belt. So that was it. That was the end of the match. That was done. And Nick Aldis is there just like, oh my god, what are we going to do with him? Like, he's stuck in this position. Don't move him.
They're worried that if they move him, it could be, I don't know. They just kind of left him there, huh?
Oh my god. Okay, so there's Sammy checking in on KO. And KO looking all bloody and horrible. And Cody Rhodes standing over him to end their feud, I guess. I don't know if that ends their. I would think it ends their feud. For
I would
fuck's
think
sake.
so.
Yeah,
I would think so. I think that has to be
after all
it.
that.
All right, so reviews. Let's see what we got as you guys reviewed this last night. I think I got your reviews on this last night, but me plus 3 points. I loved it, and Robert and Vlad also a thumbs up. So, all right, who wants to go first? I'll start with Vlad. Vlad, you got a thumbs up rating. You liked it. Let's get your thoughts on the Undisputed Universal Championship match at the Royal Rumble here.
Yeah, I mean, it was a very good match. It was violent. It was everything it really needed to be to put this one, to put this feud, like, away as, like, the closer to this feud. I don't know what else to say. I mean, the only thing that was kind of interesting was the Sammy aspect when he came in there, and it was like, both guys were kind of down, and they were both getting messed up. Like, was he going to do something? I thought that was an interesting. He didn't do anything, but the fact they teased it a little bit was a good touch, I guess, I would say. And as you said, that finish to it, that move, it looked amazing. Now, I know we had a lot of, like, I don't know about like what they do with these ladders, because I know a lot of us, as we were watching, we were talking like, oh God, the shots where they're landing on their back look brutal. They're going to be crippled. Why are they doing this? I hope that some of these ladders are gimmicked enough where they're not like they're actually landing on a metal ladder. I hope that's not the case, that they're doing something to these ladders where it's not like as bad as it looks, because a lot of them looked really bad. I'll say that much for it. But entertaining match, good stuff across the board. Cody's, one of my favorites. And Kevin Owens, who I have not been like a huge fan of, he really was great in this feud. Tremendous heel. Good stuff across from him as well. So, good match. And, let's see what happens next for both of these guys. It'll be interesting, especially for Cody.
All right, Robert, let's get your review. You also a thumbs up, so let's hear your thoughts.
Yes, so really good match. I think the outcome was predictable, but I don't know. It was funny because I deep down I kind of rooting for KO.
Yeah, me too.
He's been so entertaining leading up to this match. So, but I figured the outcome was gonna be Cody winning anyways. So yeah, it was a good match. There's some spots that I thought looked very dangerous. Look, I get that these guys are professionals and they know what they're doing. I'm pretty sure everything that they do is not too much risk involved. So I don't know what they do with those ladders, just like Vlad said. But man, yeah. So some of those spots look very, very risky, and I hope their long-term health doesn't suffer too much from that.
But it was worth it because it was so epic. You know what I mean?
It was epic. That's for sure.
It was an epic. It was.
I think Kevin Owens would say that, but I don't know about all these wrestlers. A lot of these wrestlers, when they're older, they seem very regretful.
Kevin Owens would say that. Yeah, Kevin Owens would say that, and guess what? KO would be right.
KO is always right.
Yes.
All right, guys. Well, I guess that's it. Let's hear your final thoughts on the show. I'll start with Vlad. Overall, it was 4.5 hours, only 4 matches. So what did you think of it?
Yeah, I mean, overall, I like the show. The 2 Rumble matches obviously usually take up like more than an hour each, right? They're like an hour and whatever, 15 minutes each or whatever, however long they go. But both were entertaining. As I said, the women's match to me was better, which I don't think I've ever said that topic probably, but this was definitely the case for me yesterday at the Royal Rumble. Otherwise, I'm curious where it all goes. Like, what's the road to WrestleMania leading to? Like, who's going to fight who? Like, with Jey Uso winning, it kind of leaves a lot of questions, honestly, of what the future is of WrestleMania. What these matches could be, because I think we're thinking that it's going to be Punk and Cody. I mean, it could still be, It could end up still being that. But they still have to have like matches for Cena. They have to have a match for Roman, Drew, Seth. Like, I don't know. Like, what's going to happen with all these guys? Like, who are they? I don't know. It's just it's a lot of questions, not enough answers right now. But overall, as far as the Royal Rumble, I'm going to leave it at that.
All right, Vlad thought it was a good show. Okay, Robert, let's get your final thoughts on the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I'd say it was overall pretty good. I love the women's Royal Rumble. I like the Cody KO match. Didn't care much about the tag match, and the men's Royal Rumble was okay. I just really hated the result. I have no idea why they decided to book it that way. And then the fact that a few minutes after that match, I find out about the whole Luka Doncic trade. It made me think to myself, like, what world am I living in right now? Nothing is making sense to me. So it was really weird. Overall, it's still a good show.
Yeah, I had a good time too. I had fun with you guys for what I remembered. But okay. I hope I was a decent house guest. I don't know, but okay. All right. Well, that's it. That's all I got for this episode of the Malapert Smark Podcast. Let me just give some news to the fans to update them on our reviews. We usually review AEW on this show. Usually I do make sure I put a mix of WWE and AEW. But today's show, I just wanted to do a complete Royal Rumble review. And I really didn't have time to watch Dynamite or Collision last week. So I'm going to make sure I get the Dynamite and Collision review out before the next Dynamite. So like an hour before Dynamite, you guys could check it out. Check out our YouTube posts tab, and I'll have the Dynamite and Collision reviews this Wednesday. As for Raw and SmackDown before the Royal Rumble, we reviewed that also on our YouTube blog posts. So I'll put links to that in case you guys want to know what we thought of the go-homes for Raw or SmackDown. It'll be in the links in the description below, and also you can go to our YouTube tab, our YouTube posts tab, or our community tab, and everything is there too, laid out nice for everyone, so you can read the storylines that happen and our reviews, thumbs up, thumbs down from me and Vlad and Robert. Also, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. We got to 500, but now we got to get to 1,000, baby. We got to become the greatest podcast there's ever been, not just wrestling, but the greatest of all times, as Double J would say. But okay, that's about it. AEW reviews coming up later in the week, and WWE, we are done. So that's it, guys. All right, thank you for being on the show today. We appreciate it. And next week, we'll do it again. If you guys have time, we'd appreciate you coming by and hanging out and talking some wrestling. Vlad, any closing thoughts you want to give? This is your chance. Robert, also, anything you want to mention before we leave? Anything you want to tell the peoples?
Yeah, I will just say real quick, it was actually nice not to talk about AEW this week. I thought that was a great touch. Good choice, Kehan. You made the wisest choice you've made since we've started the show. Maybe we could make some sort of thing where we only talk about them once every 2 weeks or something. I like this. Not talking about AEW this week. It was very nice.
Yeah, we didn't have to bash on any AEW this week, but I for all I know, there was some good stuff on the show. Sometimes they surprise me. Did you get a sense of Dynamite was bad, or what? Did you think it was?
It's the same. I don't know. It's the same.
Some weeks are better than others, man. I mean, I know the main event was Yuka Sakazaki against Mercedes Moné or something.
Oh my god! So just imagine, then put that to. That's all you have to say of what kind of show they had. But yes, that was the main event, and there were other things, but I don't really care for most of the things that they're doing. So, yeah, it is what it is. Wow.